Hello, Oliver. How you doing? It's raining a little bit, sprinkling. How's everyone? How's everyone doing with the current world situation going on and all this stuff? All this stuff is what's got me here this morning. Thinking about all this stuff. The crazy stuff going on. We've had a lot of stuff going on for a few months now. It's been interesting. What are we in the 6th month of the year? It's been quite interesting. We've had all sorts of stuff. Stuff. From the president's stuff to the virus stuff to the racism and hate stuff. It's all going on. There's so much stuff going on. We talk about all this stuff. How are you doing? It's Friday. It's Friday. Free Friday. We get to do what we want on Friday. We get to do what we want all the time. But I like Fridays. It's kind of a fun, chill day. What are you doing? What are your plans for the day? Are you gonna do something fun? Yeah. So tell me about you. Tell me who's here. Anybody here? Say hello. Say replay. Say I'm live. Say I'm watching something. Give me some hearts. Give me some love. Some likes. Push a button. Do one of those fun emojis they got going on right now. Where's my doggy? Ah, look, there's a doggy back there. He's walking around in the garden. But really, for real, I wanted to chat with you here in LFR about... every time I get online now, go into Facebook, if I do any searching, I keep seeing so much. I don't watch the news. I don't watch the regular TV. I just don't. It's been years since I actually sat and watched any kind of news or anything. But I hear. I have children, and my children are part of everything. Do you hear all the birds? It's so awesome. They're so pretty. They're putting on like a show this morning for us. Oh, somebody's here. So yeah, the birds are singing for us this morning. It's kind of nice. I got Dorothy Boo here with me. Dorothy, baby. Got Dorothy hanging out. So yeah, all this going on in our world right now, and all this rioting, and all this stuff. All this stuff with the law enforcement and the government and the world right now is just, whew, it's a lot. And I see so much, I'm seeing so much about it being racism, and racism is this and racism and that. And I agree, there's so much racism in the world, there's so much hate, so much. But I so much come from a standpoint and from a perspective of feeling like it's not racism. It's not just racism. And that's really where I come from all the time with so much of this is I see human problems. Human problems, not race problems, not gender problems, not man problems or woman problems or kid problems. I just see race problems, like the human race. And it shows in everything. It shows in our whole world and how we jump from one topic to the next, and one thing that we freak out about to the next, and one hatred to the next. You know, there's just so much of that. So, oh, hi, some of you are here. It's popping in. What's up, Sherry? What's up? I say hey. Oh, Monique. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? Who else is here? Sydney King. Ooh, I love that name. So yeah, you know, just sitting here, if you've just joined me, I'm talking about all this stuff going on, and all the hate and all the fear. I believe that hatred and violence and all this stuff is from fear. You know, it's a fear-based emotions and activities and things going on. But the biggest thing is I really just don't feel like it's just racism. I feel like it's human conditioning, that we've been so conditioned and so trained since we were little. You know, most kids and most people, most of us, most of today's society has been born, and then by the time you're 7, if you're on the slow roll of enrollment in the system, by the time you're 7, you're put in public school, and you spend most of your days and most of your time in public school. And I mean, really, who wants to do that day in and day out? That's not LFR. But hey, maybe you loved it. I don't know. I didn't. I personally thought it sucked, but maybe you loved it. Maybe you like that kind of thing. I don't. But, and I know my 5 children did not. My oldest son went through the whole system and did public school, and he hated it. He liked parts of it, but he hated a lot of it. And then with my second child coming up in it, she hated everything about it. She hated all of it. She hated the comparison. She hated the way the girls were just there and picking at each other and comparing. And you know, it was just like it was like more of a talent show, popularity contest is how she felt like school was, more than an education. It was there to see who could listen and pay attention the best and wear the best, be in the best cliques and all these other things. You know, she just didn't like it. And then my third daughter kind of liked it a little bit from the social aspect, but there was so much of it she couldn't stand and hated and everything. So we just pulled them all out and went a different route. But I think that's part of it, is the fact that kids go into the system by the time they're 7 years old, and they spend the next 12 or 13 years in the system with these people and these influences and these activities, you know. And then you get out, before you're even out of high school, you got somebody there helping you, assisting you with deciding the rest of your life. And if you look around, most of the world is doing a job or career to some extent, like job, you know, like, hey, what kind of job do you want? Or some sort of career. Do you see these crazies back here? They're on a cat hunt. They're looking for kitties. But yeah, you know, so many people go into jobs and careers, and then it's, oh, are you going to get married and hook up with a partner, and are you going to buy a house? We have home loans. We have home loans to secure you in for the next 30 years, you know, and a billion other things. And so there's just a lot of manipulation, and that's a wormhole tunnel we could go down for like days and talk about. But I just really feel like there's a lot of manipulation, and there's a lot of agendas, and there's a lot of programming. And I believe lots of this programming starts in the public school system, and it starts in society the way it is. And then we all are in this crazy headspace, and none of us are doing what we want, and everybody is spending so much of their time at a job that they really don't like, or they just, you know, it pays the bills. I hear that a lot. I hate my job, but what am I supposed to do? You know, and it's like, well, what do you want to do? So, you know, there's so much of that. So if you have a whole world full of people, and a whole world, like this whole society just not feeling legit, not feeling awesome, not LFR, they're not living for real. They're getting up every day and waking up and making that thing, and if that, most people are skipping meals and skipping food, the very vital pieces of our existence. You know, people are skipping that, and they're getting dressed and getting all dolled up and dressed up and hair did and face did. Hair did, face did, all of that stuff, you know, and then getting in a car and driving to a job and driving to work and spending their day there and plugging away at that job and that work all day long, and then getting off work, coming home to what? You know, people are tired. They don't want to hang out with their family. They don't want to do their life. They just spend all day doing something. You know, and so you got these people that are dissatisfied. They're not happy with life. They're not living for real. They're doing a job. They're, just following some system. And we have a society full of this. We have so much full of it. I mean, look at the current situation, or at least this situation 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's the whole world was sitting at home, losing their minds and hating being around their children and wanting to kill their spouses or partners or whatever. I mean, literally you see this all over Facebook and all over online and everywhere. And I really just believe it's not because, and it's just showing right now with the system fallout, so to speak, of what's going on, and it's showing. And racism has always been a thing that we've gone back to because it is a thing. It's a really shitty thing. But there's lots and lots and lots of shitty things. It's not just racism, Racism exists everywhere to some degree, to someone, somehow, It's like I'm white and I'm a woman and I live in America and all these things, and I have experienced racism to myself to a certain degree in my life, but not racism like humanism, human on human crime, not race on another race crime. And I really believe that's the basis of our problems. I grew up in a family where there was racism. It absolutely existed. It still exists. It still totally exists in my family line, but I don't carry this racism. I don't have this fear and this judgment about different people because of the color of their skin or the way they live their life. I just have a problem with human behavior, and we all do it. We all do it everywhere. It's not just, I mean, you have parents abusing their own children. You have husbands and wives and partners betraying each other and treating each other like shit. I mean, people you've known your whole life, that. So it's not racism. It just shows in racism like that. It's human to human problems. And it's not that we want to treat each other so horribly, I don't believe. I believe it's that we're just not really sure about how we should treat ourselves. So I just want to encourage you to treat yourself better. Love yourself more. And the more you love yourself and the more you treat yourself better, the more you're not going to have any desire to treat other people this way, in a horrible way. Because if you truly are loving yourself and truly appreciating yourself, like true self-appreciation and true appreciation for the world, this stuff isn't going to exist. Racism, prejudice towards women, towards children, towards men, whoever it is, governments, groups, religions, different faiths, whatever it is, we have it everywhere. You see it everywhere in everything. Everybody has a problem with somebody and something, and it's not just racism. It's just not just their colors, it's our choices. We all decide to judge each other based on different choices. And I'm not perfect at all. I'm not saying I'm perfect at all. That is not at all what I'm saying, and I'm never trying to come across that way. I'm always just trying to show that we can be better. We can do so much better. We can be better people by making better choices, by choosing what we're doing every single day, and not just lollying through life. Because that's where the problems start arising, because it may be a lolly through life for you, but for your kid, it's not. Your kid's wanting your time. Your kid's wanting you to show them how to do life. Your kid's wanting you to spend time with them. And if we're so preoccupied and busy with the rest of the world, we're not spending time with our family and our children and our own lives. We're not spending time on what's so important to us, and we're neglecting the things that are important to us. And for you, it may just be like whatever, but your kid's sitting in the background. They may be getting kind of mad, you know, they may be getting kind of angry. They may be building up some resentment that they don't even understand. You know I did. I know as a kid, I tried to understand and love and appreciate and all those things, but I grew up with a lot of resentment and a lot of dissatisfaction for life. And not because of the racism that I was experiencing as a kid in my own family. It was because of the lack of my family being clear about who and what they were doing. So there was a lot of distraction there. There was a lot of attention and energy put into racism and what other people were doing, or, disliking certain animals or people, or just so many judgments. There was all this energy and time put into all these judgments and opinions and racism rather than doing our own lives. So, 4 children wander around wondering what to do. They grow up kind of mad and angry when they don't know what to do, and their lives are starting to be kind of crazy, and you end up with kids in jail and kids on drugs and kids being sexually abused and then you see riots in the streets, and you see people hating on other people because of the color of their skin. So it's not just one thing, it's so many things, and it all stems and starts from us having a lack of clarity on who and what we are and what we want to do. And it's really not that hard when we pay attention and when we make choices and we decide and commit. So this post, this live, was really just to share with you how, how I'm feeling about the world and our lack of love, our lack of knowing love for ourselves and for each other. And it starts with us. You can't even really love your children as deeply and as connected and as purely as you could if you loved yourself more. And I know this so much. I had my son really young, and even having him really young, I loved him so much. I mean, I made a lot of good and bad choices based off of trying to show him love. And everything with my parenting and everything with my life changed more when I learned how to love myself completely. I could actually see my children for who and what they actually are, and who they are better than I ever could before. And because I was wearing a different style of glasses, lenses, looking through different lenses. So, yeah. Love yourself in order to love the rest of the world more. Once you do, you'll see it's not about racism, it's about love. It's human to human love, human to animal love, human to earth love, human to planet love. It's just about love and a lack of. And there's a lack of love because we don't love ourselves. So, love you more to be able to see and love others more. Yeah, so anyhow, have an awesome Friday. I don't know if anyone's with me. My signal goes in and out sometimes when I'm outside, so who knows if anyone's listening currently, but I hope you see my video, and I hope you learn to love yourself more and appreciate yourself more. And appreciation's free. You can appreciate any and everything, and the more you do, the more love you'll feel because you are doing it. You are radiating it. You're putting it out there. So do it. Do it. And have an awesome Friday. If I don't catch you later today somewhere, have a good weekend. Have an awesome Friday, and I'll see you. Peace out. See you.